They say the fortune is in the follow-up, and while this phrase is typically attributed to salespeople, it really holds true for nearly everyone. As a job seeker, you are in sales, but instead of selling a widget, you're selling yourself. And that means you should approach your job search as a salesperson would. Unfortunately, too many people drop the ball when it comes to networking follow-up. By developing a simple habit of reaching out to people after you meet them and doing it consistently, you're much more likely to find success. And yes, even your next career opportunity. Networking should be a no-brainer when it comes to your job search strategy. After all, who you know is just as important as what you know. And while you may have already developed a network, if you're not interacting with them regularly, you're missing an opportunity. Plus, there are all those people you don't yet know to add to your network. One of the biggest advantages of networking is the ability to directly access key decision makers, bypass gatekeepers, and learn about job opportunities before they're available to the general public. As someone who's tapped into your industry, you will know what needs might be coming up and position yourself as the solution. While networking is a huge component of a successful job search, showing up and interacting with people is only part of the equation. You need a follow-up strategy. That's where the real magic happens. There are do's and don'ts associated with your networking follow-up. Obviously, the first do is to actually follow up. Just doing that will put you ahead of the game, but a game plan is key. Here are some tools to help you follow up more effectively after that event. People have a short attention span, so you need to follow up quickly. At a networking event, you may meet 5 people or 15, depending on the length of the event and your conversations. The more people you meet, the less memorable you'll be. Set aside time in the next day to reach out to people. Prioritize your follow-up time to ensure it gets done. It will make a huge difference. When you connect with people in the real world, be sure you're connecting with them on LinkedIn as well. But don't assume they use LinkedIn regularly, so always connect with them directly as well. And try following them and their company on the other social media platforms you use. The more connected you are, the better. Having some kind of template as a starting point for your follow-up message is great, but we suggest you go above and beyond that. Try adding in something about where you met, what you discussed, and a way you can help them reach their goals. Remember that they met a lot of people at that event and others, so you want to differentiate yourself and help to spark their memory. Including a picture in your email signature can help too. So you're not stuck with nothing to say, remember to jot down a note or two when you meet people. Whether you do that on their business card, your phone, or a notepad. To measure your success in anything, you need to track it. That's true with networking as well. Refer to our lesson on tracking your efforts to create a spreadsheet or another way to keep track of all your outreach efforts. That will also help you remember key traits about the people you meet. Just as there are certain things your networking follow-up should include, there are also some you need to avoid. Always bring your A game to networking and treat others as you expect to be treated. This is a brief list of things you shouldn't do. At some networking events, you'll receive a list of all attendees. Don't randomly connect with everyone just because you have a list. That's considered spamming them. If there is someone on the list you would have liked to have met, reach out and tell them that. Then you can start from there. If you have a stack of cards that you plan to go through monthly, don't bother. Most networkers meet hundreds of people a month, and they're not likely to remember you any more than you'll remember meeting them. If you haven't followed up within a day, you've missed your window. Sure, your number one reason for networking is to find a job. You know that, and the people you meet may also know that. But you don't want to start a relationship by jumping the gun. The point of networking follow-up is to develop relationships. The rest will come. If you haven't heard from a person you met, try again in a week. Try calling if you emailed previously, but don't continue forever. Have a plan to transition them to a longer interval between follow-ups. Don't pester them. Sometimes no means no. Networking is a key way to accelerate your job search, but too many people miss the boat by not following up. To ensure you get the most out of your efforts, follow up within 24 hours. Connect on social media. Personalize any messages you send with something about that person. Track your connections for future conversations. With a sound networking follow-up plan, you'll maximize your results and find opportunities much faster.